So most people use Obsidian like it's a pretty notes folder. I think that is backwards because if you're using AI every day and you're using multiple models, your notes should be able to have some sort of AI database where it knows everything about your life, your work, your goals, your projects, and your style. And you shouldn't have to be going from one model to the other or one app to the other and constantly reminding it, especially when things change. I'm going to walk you through a template that you can reuse so that you can have all of your models be in sync and always know everything about you that you want them to know. So I want to start by giving you a walkthrough of what this is going to look like. This is the folder structure that you'll be starting with, and I will be giving it to you to download for free. The folder structure is laid out in numbers. So first it starts with basic information about you, who you are, your current goals, current projects. It's more of a summary of who you are. Then we go into a deeper profile. In this deeper profile, we're going to have things like your bio and things like strengths and weaknesses and tools that you like to use. Then we go deeper into goals. The good thing about this is that things change sometimes. Sometimes you need to readjust what you're telling the models, and it's really annoying to have to go back and forth. Maybe you tell Claude one thing, but then you have to tell ChatGPT the same thing, and then they kind of get confused, especially when you have multiple models working on the same project. After that, we kind of break down projects a little bit more. We have project templates that we can create. You can create templates for each project, and that way when you reference something in conversation, it will know everything. It'll remember how you write, and it will remember all of these things, which is super important. We'll then get into more life ops things. Some of these you don't have to fill out if you don't feel comfortable. Things like health and finance, things that are, obviously very private. If you're going to be using a model that is cloud-based and you don't feel safe doing that, you don't have to fill this part out. The AI skills would be the next part that we can talk about. Skills that you want to be able to get better at and that you know that your model is actually really good at learning. At some point, automate learning these skills. This is also where it gets pretty interesting. If you're someone like me and you kind of struggle with journaling, but you know that it's good for you, this is actually a great system because it already has all this context that you have been giving it. The folder structure allows you to fill it out in a way that you have enough to talk about. But then at a certain point, you start getting these like daily interviews, and it's basically a journal. It's also good to keep a decision log. And I would also recommend that you add an experience log as well. This helps the model train better based on why you decided to do something. And then to have something to be able to look at later in case you don't want to lose anything, you could have an archive, which is really helpful as well. So you essentially could get this folder and fill out everything that you want in your own voice, but we're going to actually make it a lot better and faster by using the following prompt. So we're inside this folder right here. It has all of the files that you just saw. So this is the prompt that I'm going to use. You're helping me build an AI-ready personal wiki. The goal is to create a useful life/work database that future AI assistants can read before helping me. And then we have some sort of interview style with 3 to 5 questions at a time. We have the questions kept short, and it's going to update all of the files after I answer. We want to make it useful, so we're specifying not to make it pretty. We want it to be useful because models will prioritize something that has the best context. And then now it's going to start asking us a bunch of questions. So here, as you can see, it has given us 5 questions. I will fill it out with some basic information. So we're going to send that off, and the model is going to then fill out the profile, also part of the goals. And the good thing is that it can actually jump around between all of these files. At the same time, it can touch multiple files at once. So you don't have to do it yourself if you don't want to. Say that something changes at this point or later on, you can go into this file and you can say, hey, this has changed, update it. But at least you don't have to constantly keep reminding it. Let's look at some of the files that it has edited for us. So as you can see, based on our answers, it has completely added all those sections for us. Things like stuff that you hate when it repeats, any of that. All of this, you can go ahead and add it in there. So anytime that it does something that you don't like, you can basically say, hey, I don't like it when you do that. Add it to my personal wiki. It added some goals for us. And here it will put some of the sections that it hasn't asked you about as pending, which is great. It's also already created a specific page for my app that I just released called Tap Tally Click Counter. This is a great starting point because now it's using this template. Anytime that I talk about this specific app, then it will use this file. And as things change, I add more features, I change stuff, it's going to go in here, say, oh, okay, I'm going to update that. Or you can just remind it to do that. What I would recommend that you do after you're done filling this out is that you actually go ahead and add to your Claude MD or your agents.md, add a note that after every session, it should go over the things that changed and to update the personal wiki files associated with what was done in that session. This can keep it up to date. You don't have to worry about it. But now the question is, how do I put this all together? Where does it go? So Obsidian is actually the best place to do that, in my opinion, because it all can communicate with that. OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini, even OpenClaw and Hermes as well. Any of those cloud models, they can communicate really easily with apps like Codex or the Claude app as well. Even local models as well. You are pointing it to that Obsidian vault. Hopefully this helps you out with any memory issues that you might have gotten with your models. Let me know if you find it helpful. I'm Rachel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.